ask a couple. So just for those who are kind of like a little groundless, what are the various pieces you need as a professional writer? You have an agent, maybe a publisher that you work with long-term. You know,
so,
what all do you need, and how do you find them? I'm
well,
sure that's
first of all, are people mostly fiction here or nonfiction? Do you think? A lot of poetry, a lot of memoir?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of kind of creative nonfiction.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so there's two things, right? There's writing for magazines, and then there's writing books. And they're totally different economies, and they're totally different casts of characters. So if you're going to write for online magazines or for print magazines, you need relationships with the editors of those publications, and you can set those up right now, like via email if you have a good pitch, and you have a couple of good clips to send them. What I tell people is, you know, I used to be an editor also in an online magazine. I was the editor-in-chief, and but when I was a writer, I hated editors because they wouldn't get back to you in time, or they, you know, would kill your story, or they were just irritating. And then when I was an editor, I hated writers because they would harass you about some pitch you didn't want, and, you know, yell at you that you didn't want it, and or they were so pushy. So writers. So I got a lot of compassion for both sides. But you can write a pitch that's 2 paragraphs. First paragraph, here's this cool story idea I have for you. And, you know, this is what makes it really exciting. This is what makes it exciting now. Second paragraph, here's why I'm the person to write it. You know, I have this kind of access. I've written these 3 stories about this topic before that did really well. You know, I already have an interview set up with this exciting person nobody else has access to. Whatever it is, you say that, and you link to a couple of your pieces, and that's it. I mean, that's for magazine writing. You just do that 1,000 times a week, and just pitch and pitch and pitch, and you get rejected a lot. I mean, I still get rejected a lot. I've written for like every publication in the universe. I had a story idea a couple weeks ago, and I just like tried everyone. I just like kept trying people. Nobody wanted it. Still nobody wanted it. And
in your mind, it's a good idea.
Yeah. It was a good idea. I think so.
With your experience, and you obviously kind of know how to pitch at this point. That you
yeah. I mean, people were like, a couple of people were like, yeah, that could work maybe. And then they would just be like, I'll tell my friend, my editor-in-chief about it. And then like 2 weeks would go by, and then I'd write and be like, hey, did you want that? I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, let me ask her. And then silence. And, you know, it never ends. You always are going to suffer and fail. It's just at higher and higher levels. The money will get a little bit better, and the caliber will get a little better, but it's the same story. My best friend's a very fancy reporter, and she always says, if you're not getting rejected, you're not doing your job. So if you're a nonfiction writer trying to get published and you don't have stacks of rejections around you at all times, you're obviously not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So
you're not seeking out, you're not trying. Like rejections are just
getting rejected is part of what you're supposed, is part of the job description. Doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And it's true now. It's true, always true. It's never not true. And I have friends who are fancier than I am who say the same thing. Still true.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Like Courtney just wrote down your quote in the comments. If you're not getting rejected, you're not doing your job. That is like not really meant to be like an inspiring writerly quote. It's completely just a fact. And if it's inspiring, that's great. But reach out, get rejected, reach out more.
Keep going.
Learn from it, reach out. Just that's the process.
I mean, I shudder to think about some of the pitches I sent early on. I think some of them were, you know, probably like 1,000 words, right? Just like so much information. And I probably pitched things that I had no business writing, you know, like Beyonce is coming to town. I would like to profile her. Like, you know, so does everybody else, whatever. And I think just over time you learn and you establish relationships, and all these things run on relationships. So you do a really good job on something, and then the editor wants to use you again. And then you just, over time, you get a reputation as being somebody who's reliable. Yeah. And I think being extremely friendly is underrated. I think there's this fantasy of like diva writers, but I don't know one person who's successful in either books or magazines right now who can't have relationships with people that are, you know, built on mutual trust and respect.